Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. One of the biggest organizations helping Democrats win elections. The election of state Supreme Court justices doesn't always appear to garner national attention. The article continues. Super interesting. Katie Spence is the author. She covers various topics, focusing mainly on energy and politics for the Epoch Times. And this is a really important article. Katie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on. I'm happy to be here.
So, Katie, this is an incredibly important article. Walk us through your findings. What is this organization and what is the story here?
Right. So when I first started looking into America Votes, it was because I was looking at the Open Society and George Soros and what he has been doing with funding, and noticed this huge donation and wanted to find out, well, what do they do? And come to find out they really are this organization that is the hub when it comes to voters. They go out, they engage in the community, and they try to get more people to vote early, especially people of color and the younger generations, and they are looking to advance progressive ideologies.
So what exactly is this organization called again? It is called the...
It is America Votes.
It's America Votes. So if you check out America Votes and you Google it, to an untrained eye, it doesn't look overly controversial. It says they're a coordination hub of the progressive community. I believe, are they a 501c3 or 501c4? I think it's 501c4. And you know who the founder is? Go ahead.
They are a 501c4.
The founder is Cecile Richards, the former head of Planned Parenthood. And their core states are obviously where we're getting our tails kicked. It is a massive, massive effort, and they talk about all of their partners. So who exactly is funding this organization?
They do not disclose who funds them. You have to find out who is funding them by going to other organizations, like the 1630 Fund or the Open Society. So there is nothing on their site that says, here's where we're getting our money, here are the donors that give us these grants or donations, unfortunately.
So America Votes had the largest ever midterm mobilization effort, and it was a key reason we did not see the red wave so many pundits had predicted. They say their partners knocked on more than 26 million doors and had nearly 5 million conversations, Ms. Dawson said. Quote, we followed that up with another $5.7 million doors knocked in Georgia ahead of the runoff. Just before the summit, we knocked on more than 535,000 doors. Is there anybody on the right that is doing something similar to this?
I don't know if they're doing it quite to the same level. I have heard the RNC is planning on looking to get out and encourage early voting. I think it's called Walk Your Vote. What is it?
Bank Your Vote or something?
There is an effort. Yeah, there is an effort from the RNC because of what happened in the 2022 election and in 2020. So I think there is an effort to say, hey, we're getting a butts kicked. Let's get out there and do a little bit more organization. But it is not nearly to the level of America Vote.
Yeah, and so they technically say they are a 501c4 social welfare organization, which we run a social welfare organization, Turning Point Action as well. You know, we know about this. So, but they're also very focused on early voting and a coordination hub. What I find to be really interesting is that they're able to get a lot of these alliance organizations, AFL-CIO, AFSCAMI, Alliance for Youth Action. I haven't even heard of some of these organizations, and they list them all right there. For example, the Alliance for Youth Action grows progressive people power across America by empowering local young people's organizations to strengthen our democracy, fix our economy, and correct injustices through on-the-ground organizing. You go through it, there's dozens of these organizations, Black Votes Matter Fund. I mean, I've even heard of all these groups. And so is America Votes the central hub, or do they just call themselves the central hub? Is it the closest thing to, quote unquote, the offensive coordinator of the Democrat offense?
So they call themselves the Progressive Hub. And what they're trying to do is reduce duplication efforts and to make it so there's more streamline. They say that anytime a voter is engaged more than once, that's a wasted effort. So they are the central hub, and then they work with these other organizations.
But I think what you're saying, they are a self-appointed progressive leader. Is that right?
Agrees in Kansas
Yes,
City.
so they're the progressive hub, like I was saying, and they want to reduce duplication efforts. They want to make sure that no one is going out twice to someone who may or may not vote. They want to go out one time only, and say, hey, get your ballot in. So they work with like Planned Parenthood, they work with Black Votes Matter, they work with all sorts of organizations, and they give them grant and funding to then go out more and disperse. So they are the organization hub, and they kind of coordinate everything.
And so, but they're not, what's interesting is they're big, but they're not huge. What I find interesting is, according to they have a $30 million budget, 40 million, right? Is that correct? There's other organizations that have hundreds of millions of dollars, but their role seems to be they are the appointed on-the-ground non-duplication nonprofit. So was that a role given to them by Arabella Advisors or Democracy Alliance, or did they just kind of grew into it? For example, they grow Emily's List. I mean, they coordinate Emily's List. They coordinate all these different groups. You can go to their website and check it out. It's rather extraordinary. How did this happen? How long have they been in operation?
So they started in 2003, and Cecil Richards started with them in 2004. So she's not actually one of the original founders. She came on board after. But it started out just trying to get everything coordinated and streamlined. And I don't know if they were like designated as the coordination hub, or that's just what it became over time. It sounds like it more became that way over time. I don't know if you've read the blueprint, which talks about what happened to politics in Colorado, where Jared Polis and a group of billionaires came in and made everything streamlined because they didn't want to waste money. They didn't want to waste effort. So it seems like that is what happened with America Votes. They saw that there was duplicated efforts, and then they streamlined it, and that kind of put them in that position. I don't know if they were designated the coordination progressive hub.
Yeah, and so look, you know, at Turning Point Action, we're trying our best to create a similar hub, but most organizations on the right do not want to work together because they're afraid somebody will get the credit. That's not them. That's how the right works. The article is terrific. I encourage you guys to check it out in depth. One of the biggest organizations helping Democrats win elections.